Hello, Melissa. I don't think that we've said the actual intro in like 4 episodes.
I think that you've made sure to say it.
I actually don't. I was thinking about this late at night the other day. So anyways, for the record, um, welcome to Liverpool, USA. This is a best friends podcast because we are best friends.
Yes.
And today we're talking about a very fun topic. We're talking about mom rock.
Yeah.
Um, what is mom rock?
So I think mom rock is what's the word? Subjective. So like I think that both of us or everyone will have a slightly different definition that has overlap, of course. But
Mm-hmm.
because to me mom rock is like it's kind of a specific brand of like light rock, radio rock that was um big in like I want to say like the 2000s. This is like my experience with mom rock because it was when I was like conscious enough to remember and experience the kind of music that my mom was listening to when I was a child. And so it's like what
Yeah.
I associate with her. And so for me specifically, and of course, like my mom listened to other music that like wasn't just, like rock related, like she had like a couple like trance mix CDs and like, other things. But this
Mm.
specifically is
Okay.
about, yeah, she had like some random stuff. But if we're specifically talking about mom rock, the rock that I associate with moms, and specifically mine, it's like Nickelback and
Mm-hmm.
Lifehouse. Those are like,
Yes.
honestly, those are, oh, Daughtry, Chris Daughtry, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes. Five for fighting. Like that energy
those
in the
those
studio.
three are the big like heavy. I associate those with my mother
Mm-hmm.
specifically, and also like as mom rock. Like the moms are attracted to these men and they enjoy this music. And
Yeah,
but it's still
I think so.
palatable for the radio, so therefore it is palatable for the moms.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I
that is what my mom rock is.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think our moms are similar in a way. Um so I find mom rock to be similar mostly to what you're saying. Definitely Nickelback, definitely Lifehouse. Um, Definitely The Fray. That was a
Oh, the
big one.
fray. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, The Fray. And then yeah, like those boys. Also the other one that my mom is really into is Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, okay. Those are is Dave Matthews Band like older?
Yeah,
They're not like a 2000s band, right?
they're like 90s,
Yeah.
2000s,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that vein. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that your
Um
mom was like when we got a little bit older, my mom started to really like she likes a little bit of like Rob Zombie and stuff like that. So like
yeah.
she started to get a little bit into like the heavier stuff that like we liked. But I
Mhm.
think your mom, from what I've heard about what you have said about your mom in the past, is she wasn't like my mom was not like listening to Green Day when I was a kid.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
would not consider that like mom rock, but I know that your mom kind of like she listened to that kind of stuff
Yeah.
when you were a kid.
Yeah, my mom was into way heavier stuff, and I don't know that I don't classify that as mom rock, even though it's rock, and my mom was into it
Yeah,
because my
yeah.
mom was into like I mean mom was into like Five Finger Death Punch and
Mm.
like
Mhm.
um 3 Days Grace
3
and
Days Grace I would almost classify with the others. Like almost, but not quite.
mm, yeah, I mean some of their stuff is like lighter, but some of it is
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
Like my mom's
Yeah.
into Seether and like
Mhm.
those types of bands.
Mhm.
Which yeah, and again, I think similar to your mom, as she's gotten older, she has gotten into more heavy stuff than that.
Yeah. I
So
do
like
know on the
now
on the
she's
opposite end, I do know that like in the 80s, my mom was super into was it like I might be wrong on my classification of this, but like hair metal type band, she was really into Def
oh yeah,
Leppard and
yeah.
she loved like Scorpions and like stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like she was like I got like I think that my Nazareth Hair of the Dog vinyl is from her. So she was into some of that like that kind of metal that existed like in the 80s.
Yeah. My mom
Yeah.
was too, for sure. I
Yeah,
know
but
my
that
mom
was before she was a
saw.
mom.
Yeah. I know my
So,
mom saw like Metallica and
oh.
like AC/DC and stuff like in
Oh, okay,
concert.
okay. That's cool.
So that energy was definitely, yeah, I think a clear pipeline from
Mhm.
AC/DC in the 80s to like um yeah, to, you know, Seether in the 2000s.
Yeah, yeah. You become a mom and then you find Chris Daughtry attractive and that's I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it
Yeah.
worked for my mom. Yeah.
And it's so funny because I guarantee that if I asked my mom if she found any of those men attractive, she'd be like, "No, no."
Oh, that's so
Um,
funny. Cause like, what TV show was it? American Idol that Chris Daughtry was on?
yes. Yeah.
Yes, because that's how she found him. Is she was like, I want
Oh,
one of
yeah.
those.
Yes, I mean, yeah, my parents were religious American Idol
Yeah.
watchers, and I remember
Uh-huh.
my mom's favorite contestant that's ever been on American Idol was not Chris Daughtry, although she liked him a
Oh.
lot. It was Adam Lambert.
Are you serious? I don't even know if I remembered that Adam Lambert was on American Idol because we also
Yes,
like our
that's where he got his
household
start.
was also like big American. Wow. I don't. Wow. I think I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah. Anyways, so yeah, no, I think it is. My mom has like kind of described her still listening to like heavier music, even though she is, you know, a very like polished, middle-aged woman. You know, she like wears sweater sets and like works her like corporate job
Uh-huh.
and stuff, but she like still listens to like really like hard music. And she's talked a lot about how that is her like kind of holding on to like a piece of her youth, you know, because she was like a
Aw.
wild child.
Yeah.
And so she's like, yeah, that's like the place where I still get to like be crazy.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
when I
so
listen to my
funny.
music.
I want to ask my mom now, you know, like how she would describe her music taste, like how she thinks.
Yeah.
Because she's never like said anything like that before. Like we've never really talked about it like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's funny. I love that. Love that for her.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there I think there's a difference between mom rock as a genre of music and rock that my mom listens to,
Yes.
because
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and I did notice, this is so funny to me. I was looking at your notes that you put the Urban Dictionary definition of mom rock. I didn't even realize there was like a definition of mom rock, which is so funny to
Yeah.
me. Do you want me to read it?
Yes.
Okay. So, according to Urban Dictionary, mom rock is a genre of rock music that appeals to 30 and 40 something Caucasian women, many of whom have children. Many of whom. That is so funny to me. But it does, and then it says examples include Bon Jovi, Nickelback, and Los Lonely Boys. I actually don't know who Los Lonely Boys are.
Me either.
But Bon Jovi is really funny to me, but Nickelback, like, is Nickelback the definition of mom rock, which is so funny to me.
It what so the lore behind this episode is that you texted me and you said, I listened to the new Nickelback album. Or it was when we were doing our other podcast, you were like, I need to listen to the new Nickelback album, and I was like, okay, me too.
Mm-hmm.
And you texted me and you were like, I listened to the new Nickelback album and I have thoughts about it. Should we do a mom rock episode? And I was like, yes.
The natural connection.
So then, yeah, and so then immediately I got what you were saying, and so I also listened to the new Nickelback album, and then we were like, great, okay, we've listened to the Nickelback album, let's do an episode about mom rock.
Yeah.
And then literally like 15 minutes before we started recording, I searched on Google mom rock genre. And
That's
this
so
Urban
funny.
Dictionary definition came up. And so then I also thought, oh, is Nickelback like does everybody know that Nickelback is mom rock? Because like I knew we knew that because we've discussed that before.
Yeah.
But
when we went to see
so
them in England and like all the moms were there, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And so then I like looked it up and I found a definitive list of momcore music. And also dadcore, but we'll get into that.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, like number one on the list is Nickelback.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah,
and it's funny because like one of the defining moments, not moments, like but one of the like defining activities of my childhood was Nicole and I in the backseat of the car. Whenever we were in the car, we had our own little CD players, we had our own little headphones, and we would get CDs from our mom and we would sing the songs like at the same like both of us have like our own little CD players, and like one of the CDs was Nickelback. It was Silver Side Up, and there was also Stained.
Yeah. Oh, Stained is mom rock for sure.
And what else was there? Like later there was definitely Lifehouse. I remember she went and saw Lifehouse and didn't take us. Like, what's up with that?
Oh, what?
Yeah, but like there was a Lifehouse CD that was like on repeat in the car for a long time. Yeah. So like that's where it came from. It was like she like introduced me to that when I was young.
Yeah.
I don't think she fully realized like, the content of all of the music, specifically like the Nickelback and stuff, but like that's yeah.
Oh, for sure. No, I remember, and I know I've told you this story before, but I don't know if I've told it on the podcast. But and this is similar, I think, but my sister, we were in the car, and like we would always listen to music in the car, and we would listen to, there's this radio station called Octane.
Mm-hmm.
And it just plays like new-ish like metal rock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it always plays like Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace, like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And so we were listening to that radio station, and I'm pretty sure it was Riot by 3 Days Grace came on. Either that or a Seether song. I can't remember which one though. But it was one of those two songs came on, and my sister sang it just like loud and proud, and like there's a point in whatever song it was that it says like fucking bastard or something.
Uh-huh.
And my sister just sang it, and my mom was like, "Oh."
That's so funny. I know that I have told this story too, but I have like a very similar story, and I know that you've heard this, where it was Stained, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Stained, and I was
Puddle
listening.
of Mud, I
yes,
believe.
Puddle of Mud. Yes, sorry, it was there was both, but it was Puddle of Mud.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That I had the CD like playing in my little headphones, and mom, she was like dropping us off at dad's or something, or like picking us up, I don't know. And she was like, "Oh, like it's so cute, like listen, like she's singing along." And then I like proceed to sing like the smack my ass part, one Puddle of Mud song, and she was like, "Oh, whoops." Didn't realize. And I think that a lot of it is because like we probably got a lot of the words wrong anyway, because we were just like singing, and then she also like probably like couldn't understand us for our like little squeaky kid voices a lot of the time. And so it was just like at that moment she like realized.
Yeah, I would say Puddle of Mud is definitely also mom rock.
Yeah, I wonder what they think. I wonder what they think of that.
Right? I know. I want to know. Like, does Nickelback know? Because Nickelback
they have to.
knows a lot,
right?
About like what their fan
I feel
base
like they're pretty
is.
self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, what is there? So we've talked a lot about mom rock, and we're going to talk about the Nickelback album momentarily. But mom rock implies the existence of dad rock. And so what do you think the difference between mom rock and dad rock is?
So for me, if I'm thinking about that, there's a difference between like the concept of an American dad, like the stereotype of the American dad, and then like my dad. Because if I think about
Yeah.
like my dad, he was really into progressive stuff and like acid rock stuff. He was really into, as you know, Rush, Jethro Tull,
Yes.
Pink Floyd, things like that. Like that's like his top kind of music. And
Hmm.
but that is not necessarily what I would call dad rock. Like if I was talking about the broad
Yeah.
concept of dad rock, my dad is like not the blueprint for that.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I don't know if my definition of dad rock is like the same as like what a lot of people's would be. How would you describe dad rock is like what I want to know.
Again, I think my dad, I don't know. My dad, I think, has a slightly different vibe than like trad dad rock.
Mm,
But like when I think of the band like Creedence Clearwater Revival, I
okay.
think that is dad rock.
Okay.
When I think of like let's see. When I think of like Metallica, Iron Maiden,
Mm. Mhm.
like maybe like Pink Floyd.
You know, I think
I
that
feel
makes
like that
sense.
that's
Yeah.
kind of like, but then also like I think hair metal is very dad rock.
Mhm.
Um because it was, you know, maybe that's I'm just projecting because that's the music my dad liked, but
Right. Yeah. But I think that
like
there's some truth in
Kiss,
there.
Leonard
Yeah.
Skinner,
Yes.
Boston, like, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Um
like what we kind of broadly classify as classic rock now. And also like
yeah.
specifically for the era of dads, men who are
Yeah.
like old enough to be like our dads, specifically like that generation of dads.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that like I see where you're going with that. I think that what you're saying is making sense.
I This just like made me think like what do you think, because I think we are absolutely talking about like mom rock in the context of like our generation.
Mhm.
Like out like we are 20 somethings and like our moms listened to mom rock. That's like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's like if I were to become a mom, or like people that are like our age that are moms, like it's not the same.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
like, what do you think our future children are going to say is mom rock, you know?
Oh my god, I
Like, do you
hate to
think that
think
the
about
Wonder
it.
Years
Actually,
are going to
like
be like mom rock?
no, I don't even know. Oh my gosh, that's so funny to think about. Like
Because, like, absolutely everybody our age, like, likes Panic at the Disco at least a little bit. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
no, that's true. Like I think that Panic at the Disco I think could be a contender for mom rock. It's really hard for me to think about bands like Neck Deep or the Wonder Years or anything like that being mom rock.
Yeah.
Like that's just
No,
not
please.
conceptually possible to me. But I feel like you also kind of have to think about like maybe not us specifically, but like radio
Yeah,
rock. Like
that's
radio
true.
rock that is on the radio when we are moms and like that we maybe like and our kids will listen to. Like what is
Okay.
that? You know what I mean? Cuz like that's what our
Yeah.
experience was, you
Maybe,
know.
like, Imagine Dragons.
Oh my god. Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Although,
wow.
yeah.
So now I think that just sent me down a path that I don't.
Like it's too hard. Like why is it so difficult to think about? Like why is it such like a thing that's like I don't want to think about.
I don't. Anyways, maybe okay, you and me, we're gonna be the change we want to see in the world, and we're gonna bring back Nickelback as still mom rock.
Like honestly, yeah, I can also see that very much happening.
Yeah,
Like I will be listening to Nickelback if and when I have kids.
yeah.
Like
So like,
yeah.
let's on that note, let's discuss Nickelback's newest offering.
Mhm.
Get Rollin'.
Yeah.
Um, please tell me why you had the urge to listen to this album.
Yeah, well, because I like Nickelback, so that's my first bold claim. But and you know what's funny is like the album that they released before this one, I don't remember if I even really listened to it. Like I was like, oh yeah, they released a new album, but I like didn't really pay that much attention for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I wanted to listen to this one specifically, and I think they kind of like hyped it up in a specific way on social media that I like noticed it. Like it didn't go under my radar. Like I was like aware that Nickelback was releasing a new album. The album art is like totally different from anything they've ever done. It's very like it's bright colored, it's very like flashy. And you know, we've been talking about it recently. We've been talking about Nickelback and things, so I've just been like thinking about it. And then and you know, when we were talking about new albums from last year, stuff like that. And so I was like, you know, I should listen to this album. And I've only heard it all the way through once. So that's my first like, you know, preface to my statement. But I remember I played it at work, so I also, like, got the general vibe of the album, but I didn't, like, you know, hear every word to every song.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I do remember, like, the first song, it's San Quentin, started playing, and I was like, hello? Excuse me? Like, is this banging right now? Like, what is happening right now?
Honestly, there's a couple tracks that I was like,
yeah, there's like some riffs, like there's some mad guitar in there, like there's some like rock in there, you know, like there's some genuine like hits in there. And so, and it really has everything that Nickelback has. It has songs that just go hard. It has the like slow dancey songs. It has the like Skinny Little Missy whatever that genre of Nickelback song is. But like it's okay, so basically I think that it hits. I think it's super fun. I actually don't think it's a bad album. I'm like, this is not bad. Like, this is actually a really fun album, and I enjoy listening to it, and I would listen to it again. And
me too. Absolutely.
But the other thing, and I wanted to say that first because the thing I'm gonna say is gonna sound like a criticism, but it's not like innovative. It's not like a brand new, never before done thing. It's a Nickelback album. It sounds like other Nickelback albums. Like, yes.
Oh, absolutely. If I had like not been paying attention and you played this album and you said, where in Nickelback's discography does this land? I would not know that this was like the most recent one. You know what I mean? Like I would be like, oh, this could have been released in 2008.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. So we think like literally the same exact thing. But that does not mean I don't think it is like not good. Like I think that it's fun. I think that it's like not like, to me, the Nickelback sound is obviously not overdone because I am like still enjoying it. Yeah,
because, you know, Nickelback, is mom rock to the core. You can clean your house to this album. You can,
but you're like dancing with the broom, you know what I mean?
And you're like having a good time. Yeah, you can cook dinner to this album. You can like, you know, go for a walk to this album. You can strip to your husband to
exactly.
this album.
It has strip songs. It has play this slow song in my way. Literally, Justin put, oh my god, I don't remember what it's called. So we have a Spotify playlist that we're both like collaborating on, and it's possible wedding music. So it's like possible slow dancing music. It's possible like when people are standing around, you know, after the ceremony waiting for food music. It's like dance music, like music that could be played in any part of our wedding day is like on this playlist. And he literally put what's it called? Oh my god, I can't see the full title. Does heaven even know you're missing?
Okay.
Like he was like, I love this song, it's so cute, I'm gonna put it on the playlist. So it has what?
I just said, oh my god.
Yeah, which I can't help but agree with him. It has like what's another Nickelback song of like the same vibe? Other like slow Nickelback love song.
This Is How You Remind Me.
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not a love song.
Oh no, you just said slow. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, like, there's one on this album. Hold on. I'm finding it.
I don't know Nickelback songs by title, to be honest.
That's true.
Okay, Nickelback has a lot of sad songs.
Yeah, they do. But they have like love songs, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. I'm so sorry.
Like Something in Your Mouth. That's a love song, right?
I guess like not a love song, but like If Everyone Cared.
Yeah.
Like that's
like
not a stripper song.
Yeah.
But the same album also has animals on it. So like
they have the duality of man.
Yes, this album has that. It has Does Heaven Even Know You're Missing, and it also has Skinny Little Missy on it.
Exactly. Oh my god, okay. Oh, I'm looking at a different thing. But yeah. No. Yeah. Nickelback is dynamic.
Yes.
You know? I appreciate Nickelback, and there I said it.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't remember like the tracks really like track by track necessarily, besides the first one and the second one. And then after that I was just like listening, and I wasn't like differentiating in my head. But yeah, I liked the vibe. I would listen to it again. I like Nickelback. There's a reason moms like it. You know what?
Right?
Who's the smartest person you know? Probably your mom.
Exactly. Yeah. This whole like I don't want to make it sound like moms have like poor taste in music, or that mom rock is a bad thing, because it is not.
No.
It's like when like a lot of people will like discredit bands because a lot of their fan base is young girls. It's like, no.
Yeah.
That does not mean that band is bad. Quit thinking that way. That's not what I'm implying.
No, not at all.
I love mom rock. I was raised on it.
Me too.
Which leads to this question that you put on here, which I you did not ask, and I wanted to hear what you have to say about it. So, do you think that you like mom rock because it's good, or because it's nostalgic?
Both.
That's what I was thinking. I think it can be both.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously I like mom rock because it's nostalgic, right? Like there are lots of things that I like because I grew up with it, or because like it reminds me of my mom or my dad or somebody, right? Like like I'm a very big fan of John Denver, and I collect John Denver records, not because I think John Denver is like amazing. I do think he's good, but like, you know, it's not because I'm like, oh, he's like, you know, why would I collect John Denver records? You know, but it's like, oh, because it reminds me of my dad, and I love my dad, and I remember like listening to all this music when I was growing up. That's why I like it. Like if I just heard this and I had no emotional connection to it, like I don't know that I would like it. But I think with mom rock, like it is, like we said before, I think there is like a pipeline, you know, it's like mom rock to the type of music that I listen to on my own. There's a clear path.
Yes.
I think.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, I was raised on mom rock, and that led me to appreciate a lot of things about rock music that now I, you know, take into my own listening. And so I like it because it's nostalgic, but I also like it because it's good. Like Nickelback is a cultural icon. You know, like a lot of like, you know, Green Day and all of these things, they were like paving the way. You know, and they were doing interesting good things. They were like, you know, there's a reason everybody liked it, because it was good and interesting, and you know,
and like fun and emotionally like it caused emotion, you know, like it made you feel things, you know, and like that's like good art, you know.
I also feel like too, a lot of the rock music from like before the 2000s was like extremely sexist and extremely like misogynistic, and just like, yeah, I think there's a reason that like the Daughtries appealed to the mothers.
Yeah.
Because
you could argue that some of Nickelback's music is pretty misogynistic.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I feel like it's also kind of self-aware. And when you put, like we were
Yes.
talking about before, like when you put like animals on the same album, I don't remember what the other song was now already, but when you put like the like I Love You songs on the same album as the stripper songs, it's like,
Yeah.
what's the, like what's happening here? Like, do you respect women or not? I feel like you like, I don't know. Maybe that's a bold opinion in like 2023, but I feel like you can respect women and also like write stripper songs.
Oh, absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. Yeah, I think anyone that's listened to Nickelback actually and not just like, passively or like just, without like the full context can completely see what we mean.
Yeah.
Because Nickelback is doing a bit. Like they know what they're doing.
Yes, they are self-aware. Yeah.
Like they don't actually think that like they don't actually think that.
Right? Yeah, I kind of yeah.
Like they aren't like singing the song Something in Your Mouth with like meaning that. Like they aren't. I choose to believe that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know them personally, okay?
Right,
I have
right.
never
Chad
spoken
himself.
to Chad Kroeger in my entire life. I guess it's possible he could be an asshole. I don't know. But I have, like, when we saw them live, and there was that energy, and like you were saying, if you listen to their music in the context and, like, not just the songs that could make them seem like bad guys, like, if you have that, like, at this point, after we've seen them and analyzed and stuff like that, I also genuinely believe that they are just self-aware enough to, like, have fun, but know what they're doing and not actually mean anything malicious by it. Like, they don't actually mean what they're writing a lot of the time. Or even if they do, it's, like, not in a creepy way.
No,
like, sex doesn't have to be creepy,
No,
like,
you can write a sex song and be horny on main without being like weird about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think Chad does a good job.
Yeah.
And that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. Yeah, because what was there? Was it Something in Your Mouth? What was the song that they were, like, he said that they were, like, laughing at when they were writing it?
I think it was Something in Your Mouth, because I know that they played that one.
Yeah.
And they were like, we wanted to make money by being played in strip clubs.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, this is like never going to be, like, a number one. Like, this is just, like, they were laughing when they, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we're literally just writing this so that it will be played in strip clubs and, like, we'll make money. But, like, it'll never be a number one. And, like, we're writing it ironically. And then it was number one. Like, it did get big. And they were like...
Yeah. Turns out they were the blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was this quote. It was one of the Sprouse twins, I think. It's a tweet from one of the Sprouse twins. And it's like, Nickelback died for Buck Cherry's sins.
Oh my god. I was, speaking of mom rock, I was looking through, so Abe and I have all of my parents' CDs.
Oh wow, really?
Just like because they didn't want them, so I was like, give them to me. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
And there's a Buck Cherry CD, and I was like looking through, and I was like, Abe was like looking through it with me, and I was like pointing out all the ones, and there was the Buck Cherry CD. I was like, oh my god, this CD has like crazy bits.
Yes, that's literally the only one I know, and that is not what Nickelback does.
No,
it's a horny on main song, but it's not the good kind.
Yeah,
it's still like I still listen to it and it still hits, but like I'm aware of what it is.
Yeah, Abe had no idea, and I was like, you need to let me enlighten you.
If it comes on, like if I'm playing my music and I'm with Justin and it comes on, he'll be like, I don't like this song, like can we skip it?
Makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. That one I think is just somewhat like nostalgia. Like I'm like, if I heard this song today, I'd be like, ew. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Nickelback is good. That's our hot take. And Nickelback is mom rock, and mom rock is also good.
Yeah, full circle. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be everything we have to
That's
say.
like
I don't know. Do
really
you have
like
anything
summed up
else?
all the thoughts. Is there anything else about mom rock that we could say? We love our moms.
Yeah.
I appreciate my
Yeah.
mom for the music that she introduced me to as a child and giving us
Me
those CD
too.
players and letting us play her CDs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I own all of my mom's CDs now.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that one of the CDs that is the most worn out ever. Because I've played it a lot and because my mom played it constantly. I remember there was like a 2-year period where this was the only CD in her car. And I like respect that. It was 1X by 3 Days Grace.
Oh, that's such
She wore
that's
that
so funny.
CD
I love
out.
that. Yeah.
And so yeah, I think my mom is like, a big influence on my music taste
Oh
now.
yeah.
Mom rock shaped me as
Mhm.
a woman, as a music listener. Like,
Yeah. Is Maroon 5 mom rock?
I think
I kind of
so.
think early. I'm just think now. I'm like, what are the other CDs that my mom had? And like, definitely songs about Jane was like up there.
Oh yeah. Oh, Train. Train
Oh,
is mom rock.
Train. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else. Just
Yeah, we're like, what are other bands now? Yeah, I think early Maroon 5. That classifies as mom
yeah.
rock, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, the moms liked Adam Levine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something. I didn't really think about the fact that it was because they're attracted to the men. Because no women are mom rock. Like no.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that is just like inherently a part of it. I mean, at least
Okay.
like in my experience, like, and I think that's how, I mean, I kind of think that's how like a lot of people consume music. Of course, not completely. Like, of course,
No.
because
Yeah.
people listen to all sorts of music regardless of what the person looks like. But a lot of like the mom rock that's on the radio or artists that are popular, so they're on the radio, but they're also like on TV, they're in the media. Like, Chris Daughtry and Adam Levine are really good examples of mom rock that was like an attractive man who was, like in the media, so the moms would see them and then also be like, oh, this handsome guy like plays this music, and then like listen to the music. So I don't think that it's like required for
Interesting.
mom rock, but it's like definitely something that like I've noticed is that, I think that moms are tend to be like attracted to the man who's singing the music.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Much to think about. Much to think about. Because again, I guarantee that if I like asked my mom even a little bit, she'd be like, "No,
That's really
not
funny.
at all." But also my mom's like that. I don't know. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think that's very funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, now I want to ask my mom like um why she likes, like why she listens to that, like why she likes it. I
Yeah.
wonder what she likes now. I don't know what she listens to anymore.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know my mom is just like, listening to.
Yeah.
She literally texted me. Well, not. It was a little while ago, but it was like less than a year ago. She texted me and she was like, um, "Have you listened to the new Soul Asylum album?" And I'm like,
Oh.
"No."
No.
That and then the new like Nothing More album, I think.
Oh,
She texted me
wow.
about. But
Okay,
yeah.
so
So
your
I know
mom's
she.
like with the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. I don't know. Interesting. One anecdote I will leave you with because
Okay.
it popped into my head and I have to
Uh-huh.
say it. Is talking about like being attracted to. Are you attracted? Like, do you find that you are like more into a band if you're attracted to the person singing?
I think that if I'm being completely honest, when I was younger, when I was like in high school, that was
Mm-hmm.
a factor, and it was a significant factor for
Okay.
bands that I listened to.
Okay.
Is I would see them and like maybe find someone in the band attractive, and then I would listen to them more. Like that was definitely a
Okay.
factor. I think that
Okay.
like more, and maybe it just also has to do with like how I discover music over time and stuff. I don't know, or maybe I've like calmed down hormonally. I don't know, but
Yeah.
like I do genuinely think that like nowadays for at least the past, some amount of years, I really kind of don't think it's really that much of a factor anymore. Like, I kind of, like, if I think about, like, a lot of the bands that I listen to, I either don't even really know what they look like that well, or I just kind of, like, don't find them attractive, which is, like, whatever, I just don't. But yeah, that's an interesting question. What about you? Do you feel like that ever was, like, a factor in your music, or did you ever even think of that, or?
I mean, I don't think it was an influential factor towards like how much I listened to them or like how much I was a fan, but I did absolutely notice. And so this was the anecdote I was going to tell you to leave us with. Is I like a little while ago, I think we were like, me and Abe were talking about like celebrity crushes, like, oh, who is like a celebrity that you would like, be attracted to or like have a crush on, or like, whatever. And one of mine that I said was Andy Black.
Oh yeah.
And Abe was like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, oh, he's like the lead singer of Black Veil Brides. Like, let me show you a picture of him. He's
very attractive.
That's what I said. So I was like, let me show you a picture of this man. And I show Abe a picture of Andy Black, and he's like, what? And I was like, what do you mean, what? He's so hot.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, he's not. He's like ugly.
What?
And I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
your boyfriend obviously has a different taste in men than you do.
Like, what do you mean? He was like, you find him like attractive? And I was like, yeah, yes. I think he's like pretty hot.
Yeah.
Like, if I was to choose like a couple of men to like say are attractive, he would be one. He would be one of them.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, he's very attractive.
Him and his wife are both like two of the most gorgeous humans that just like exist. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Like, are you blind? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
So then so I'm like, no, like he's so hot. Like, I can't believe you don't see it. Like, whatever. Yeah. And so it's like it kind of became a joke for like a little while that like Abe like sent a picture of Andy Black to like his friends. I was like, what do you guys think? Like, POV, your girlfriend tells you this man is attractive. Like, what do you do? And everyone was like, oh, like everybody was like, oh, he's not attractive. What? And I was like, you got like, okay, stop.
Yeah. Okay, so I have met straight men who think that Andy Biersack, which is his real name, who think that he's attractive. But Justin does not think he's attractive because, of course, I think that's come up around him too at some point. But I also know that Justin, tends to not usually think that like pretty boys, like skinny pretty boys or like emo boys are like attractive. He usually tends, like to think that like more like burly men, like more like, I don't know. I can't think of an example of who he really likes. The guy who played Mad Max, Tom Hardy. Like, he thinks Tom Hardy's like really attractive. Yeah. So But I'm like, well, sorry that part of my taste in men includes like emo guys. Pretty boys. Sorry. I guess I would say. I think he's very pretty.
Yes. Yeah. And the ending of this story, which I specifically want to tell you because I know this will be funny. So anyways, this has like become a joke for like, a couple of weeks. And then I remember that I have stolen a tank top from you like 3 years ago.
You have that? Yeah. Do you have it?
I have it, and I will give it back to you because I didn't remember that I stole it.
Oh my god! I feel okay, I'm having like a moment right now because I feel like there was a point of time where I remembered that shirt, and then I didn't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about it again. Like, until literally right now, I forgot that I owned that. What? How did you end up with it?
I don't know, but I had it for a long time.
That's really funny.
Anyways, so I remembered that I had it like deep in the recesses of my closet. I was like, and it's it's a tank top with Andy Biersack's face
like close up face, yes.
Yeah, like on it. And so I just like come out of the room like wearing it, and Abe's like, what? And I'm like, no, when I tell you this man is he was like, stop it. Like, this has gone too far.
Did he think that you, like, bought it?
I don't know.
Like,
but
did
then
he think it was new? Yeah, like, explained him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
so
anyways,
funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I
Thank
will
you
give
so
that
much
back
for
to you.
telling me that story. Oh my god. Yeah, like
Yeah.
when I started listening, like in high school, that's why I started listening to R5, who was my favorite band in high school, is
Yeah.
because I thought Ross was attractive. Like the first I saw the music video for Teenagers by My Chemical Romance, and I was like, do I find this man attractive? And that was like my emo awakening. Like Gerard Way, like definitely Brendan Urie, Ryan Ross, Matty Healy in
Yeah.
high school. I used to think he was
Yeah.
like so cute. Definitely, like,
Okay,
like
Matty
it tracks.
Healy is hot.
Okay, so this has become like a different podcast now, but we'll end soon. I like
No.
during the like first couple, like when I first became a fan of the 1975 and then when they released their second album, like those eras, I was so hopelessly parasocially like in love with him. Like I thought he was like the most attractive man ever. Now I don't find him attractive. Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, he's so ugly, like but I just kind of like don't really find him attractive anymore. I just kind of don't.
Interesting.
Yeah, like
I still think that
sometimes,
he's
but
gay.
yeah.
Okay, the one thing that was like gave me the ick about Matty Healy was when we saw them in concert and he did that like weird sex thing like on stage. I was like, okay, I don't get it anymore.
That killed it for me. Definitely doing it on purpose. I think he's doing it.
yeah, but I'm like,
stop. Yeah, but anyways. Yeah, now I'm just a lot. It's a lot less of that. Yeah. So, anyway,
you know,
do you think Chad Kroeger is attractive? Wrapping it back around.
Okay, I don't think he's ugly. Like, I don't think he's like bad looking. Like,
yeah,
he's too old for me. Like, for sure.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think he's ugly. I don't think he's like hot though. Like, I would not describe him as hot.
No,
I don't think he's ugly though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's a guy. He's a
guy. Like, would I sleep with him? No. For like a lot of reasons.
Like, yeah, for like many, but yeah.
Like, okay, but like, would I sleep with Andy Black? Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Yes.
So I love you so much. Thanks
I love
for talking
you so much too.
Me.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.